This is Vroom Vroom, the car show where anything goes in anything that goes. On tonight's show, it's the G-Force Challenge in Fat Cats versus Small.
This is a BMW M5. On the last show, we saw it wrestling its way around a line of bollards in a barrel racing challenge. It was up against Britain's finest and fastest, a Marcos GT2 in our regular supercar challenge. It's the Fat Cats versus the Small Fries.
It's the big car manufacturers against the small independents.
2 cars, 1 challenge. Let's get it on. Our 2 contenders this time are the Porsche 911 Turbo and the Radical SR4. First up, the Small Fry. And performance is what it'll need because it's up against this, the Porsche 911 Turbo. We've already seen it in action, earning the Fat Cats a point in the hard braking challenge, and a pretty scary opponent it was too. The #1 Fat Cat.
So those are our 2 challengers. What do they have to do? This time it's the lateral G test. We're placing this gizmo in each of the cars and getting the driver to throw it around this sharp bend. The device measures the maximum amount of G-force that each car can register before it breaks away and slides off the track. It's a good indication of the car's ability to hang on to the road at high speed. Our test driver, Duncan Gray, will be pushing both cars as hard as he can, and the first to give it a go is the Radical. He's got a long straight to bring the car up to speed before he gets to the corner. Basically, he's got to get it going as fast as he can around the bend without losing control. Here he goes then. The G reading's at the bottom of the screen. That's the number to watch. And that's 1.4, nearly, 1.47, 1.51. That's the top reading on the last part of the bend. Nice one from the Radical. And as you can see, Duncan really pushed it to the limit. If he'd gone any faster, that car was off the track. The rear spoiler really doing its job. Astonishing. The Radical, as it came round that bend, generated 1.5 G. If your driver's 10 stone, it's like having someone 15 stone pushing on the side of him. Why can it do that? Because it's a racing car with number plates on.
Now, the Porsche. It actually has a higher top speed than the Radical, but this, remember, is all about controlling the speed on the corners. Duncan's pushing it as hard as he dares. Here he goes then. 1.2 into the bend, up to 1.25, 1.3, but that's the lot. 1.3 G then the maximum, and it's a heavy car, the Porsche, and a real fight for Duncan to keep it under control. Pretty good, but 1.3 G not enough to win against the Radical's 1.5.
It may have lost, but that's an awful lot of G for what is essentially a road car. Nevertheless, it's one for the Small Fries. And let's look at the 2 together. The Radical manages to get a much tighter line, even at the same speed. More control, more Gs.
So all of that means the Small Fries go ahead again. 3-2 the score. Next time, it's a quarter-mile drag race between the Noble and the BMW M5.